Good, happy Wednesday morning, July 8th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday morning, so let's begin. First up, COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know information. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 5,932 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 2,983,961 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 384 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 577 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 268 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 95. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 1577. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations, and in the red are the deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple, total current COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, current hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases in the orange, total hospitalizations in the red, deaths, and in the blue recovered. And let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. And let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, and difficult breathing, cough, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. Be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Some in Portsmouth urge governor to require masks at Trump rally. Sununu says event will be treated same as other large political events. Let's take a listen to that video from WR News 9.
Hi, I'm Captain Robbie Knievel here with my friends at world famous Lee Custom Cycles. When I'm not jumping canyons, I'm jumping up.
Whether they were the Black Lives Matter protests, whether they were protests on the State House lawn, whether it's a political rally, whatever it is, everyone's always treated the same. So to have a mask order for one and not the other isn't fair. It doesn't make sense.
Governor Sununu is pushing back against criticism that he will not mandate masks at the president's campaign rally in Portsmouth on Saturday night. He says he hopes people in the crowd and the president himself will wear one anyway.
If you can't maintain a consistent consistent separation of 6 feet, you should be wearing a mask.
Sununu told reporters that he will wear a mask to welcome President Trump as he arrives, but he himself will not be attending the rally, citing health concerns.
I'm going to go and greet the president as the governor. I will not be in the crowd of thousands of people. I'm not going to put myself in the middle of a crowd of thousands of people. If that's your question specifically to myself, I try to, unfortunately, I have to be extra, as the governor, I try to be extra cautious for myself and my family.
The state's epidemiologist says there is no way to make large group gatherings completely safe during COVID-19, but holding them outdoors can help.
Anybody attending any kind of group event, whether it's a protest or a rally, needs to wear a cloth or should wear a cloth face covering, should be practicing frequent hand hygiene and trying to maintain a distance of at least 6 feet from other people.
The governor says he is also urging people aged 60 and older or those with compromised immune systems to stay home. And the governor today also clarified that the state's current 2-week quarantine will not apply to out-of-state visitors coming for the one-day event, including the president. Reporting live tonight in Concord, Tyler Dumont, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. 2 more New Hampshire COVID-19 deaths announced. Governor says efforts continue to help New Hampshire economy. As 2 more deaths connected to COVID-19 were announced Tuesday in New Hampshire, Governor Chris Sununu said efforts to help sorry about that, everyone. To help the state economy recover were ongoing. Health officials said the 2 Granite Staters who died were connected to long-term care facilities. There have been 384 COVID-19 deaths in New Hampshire since the start of the pandemic. Officials said 19 new cases were confirmed, bringing the state's total to 5,932 cases during the pandemic. 3 more people have been hospitalized, and health officials said 577 Granite Staters have been hospitalized for COVID-19 during the pandemic. Health officials said 790 cases were currently active, the lowest number since mid-April. There are 24 Granite Staters currently hospitalized with COVID-19. Sununu said the relevantly low number of confirmed cases show that the precautions Granite Staters are taking are working to help keep the virus in check. He cited the latest unemployment numbers, which showed an 11% decline in new claims over the past week, as evidence that people are increasingly able to get back to work. There were still nearly 86,000 total claims filed in New Hampshire. Sununu said the Self-Unemployment Livelihood Fund program, an effort to help self-employed Granite Staters, is now taking applications. The program works similar to the Main Street Relief Program, which was aimed at covering some of the financial losses suffered by New Hampshire small businesses. The SELF program will cover some losses for self-employed business owners. Applicants will be accepted through July 17th at revenue.nh.gov. Proposal would allow Manchester restaurants to use parking spaces to expand outdoor dining. Handicap spaces off limits. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Charisse Leclerc.
Hi, I'm Captain Robbie Knievel here with my friends at world famous Lee Custom Cycles. When I'm not jumping canyons,
We get to have these 2 spots here, and they're going to be, we can fit probably 4 tops.
Alex Lambroulis owns the Euro spot on Elm Street. He's one of multiple business owners that have already expressed interest in taking over several parking spots to safely expand outdoor dining.
In my dining room, it's really small, so I have to cut my seats in half, which is only 12 seats. So then this would actually be really good for us.
The proposal allows businesses to take 2 to 3 spots in front of their location. Mayor Joyce Craig says handicap spaces would be left off limits.
There are about 20 or so spots that people have said they'd like out of about 120 downtown, but we do believe that there'll be more people once they see the benefit of doing this.
They could lose about $16,000 in revenue by cutting back on available parking, but it's a loss the mayor says would benefit downtown businesses.
We do believe that outdoor dining can be expanded. We know that people would prefer to be outside, and the city wants to do everything they can to help and assist our businesses right now who have been struggling through this COVID-19 pandemic.
The proposal allows jersey barriers to go up the weekend of July 18th and would last until the weekend of October 10th.
Just bring life to downtown.
Continue to progress. They may actually consider shutting down much of downtown Elm Street to allow for more outdoor dining for a couple of weekends in the fall. Live in Manchester, I'm Cherise LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Mount Washington Valley sees high number of visitors during 4th of July weekend. Businesses say visitors adhered to safety guidelines. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Hi, I'm Captain Robbie Knievel here with my friends at world famous Lee Custom Cycles. When I'm not jumping canyons.
Before the 4th of July holiday, businesses in the Mount Washington Valley received many phone calls, but no one really knew how the weekend would turn out.
It actually exceeded for almost every business that responded to the Chamber's survey.
Lodging was nearly sold out at every location, including the White Mountain Hotel.
People are definitely wanting to travel, and that's what we saw.
Restaurants also welcomed a large number of people taking advantage of outside dining.
In addition to all the tables being socially distanced, having all the staff in mask and extra cleaning protocols, everyone, the restaurant was very busy as well.
The Settlers Green shopping outlet had a spike of customers from surrounding states.
Eagerness is there for people to get away. Campgrounds were open, all the things that are important to the North Conway area.
Because of capacity limits, there were lines outside of stores, but people didn't seem to mind.
We saw a lot of families, a lot of couples, and everybody was being really good. There was masks being either worn or having, it in tow. I could tell as I was walking around.
The Chamber of Commerce says outdoor attractions also did well because people can have fun and social distance at the same time.
I think it was very important to have a successful opening and a successful weekend to show people that we can operate in a safe and still friendly environment.
Owners tell us they hope the boost in business lasts through Labor Day. They are asking all visitors to continue to follow the safety guidelines. Reporting in Bedford, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Stock features are nearly flat following sell-off on Wall Street. U.S. stock features were little changed early Wednesday following weaknesses in equities in the previous session. New book by Trump's niece paints sketching picture of president. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
news this Tuesday night, the explosive new book by President Trump's niece, Mary Trump. Several details already being reported tonight. And what ABC News has learned is in the book. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
She is the president's niece, the first member of his family to publicly turn against him. Mary Trump unloads in a new book the Trump family tried to stop. Too much and never enough. How my family created the world's most dangerous man.
Mr. President, any reaction to your niece's book? Any reaction to Mary Trump's book, sir?
Mary Trump describes the president's father, Fred Trump, as a high-functioning sociopath who short-circuited Donald's ability to develop and experience the entire spectrum of human emotion. Ms. Trump, a trained psychologist, claims the president's father perverted his son's perception of the world and damaged his ability to live in it. Donald is not simply weak, she writes. His ego is a fragile thing that must be bolstered every moment because he knows deep down that he is nothing of what he claims to be. She adds, his cruelty serves, in part, as a means to distract both us and himself from the true extent of his failures. Mary Trump says the president's sister, retired Judge Mary Ann Trump Berry, told her in 2015 she didn't take her brother's presidential campaign seriously, saying, quote, he's a clown. The White House today is hitting back.
It's ridiculous, absurd allegations that have absolute no bearing in truth. Have yet to see the book, but it is a book of falsehoods.
Mary Trump, who is the daughter of the president's older brother, Fred Jr., sued the president and his siblings, claiming she was treated unfairly in her grandfather's will. The case was later settled. She has seen little of her uncle over the past 20 years, although she attended a dinner at the White House in early 2017. She acknowledges that the next year she gave details of Trump family finances, including tax records, to the New York Times.
And John, the White House tonight out with a new statement about Mary Trump's book.
The statement from a White House spokesperson accuses Mary Trump of writing the book for financial gain. Regarding the specifics of what she wrote, the statement says, quote, the president describes the relationship he had with his father as warm and said his father was very good to him. He said his father was loving and not at all hard on him as a child. That, David, the statement from a White House spokesperson tonight.
All right, John Karl with us live from the White House. John, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for watching this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another broadcast. I love a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye.